Hi friends, Mrs. Harris here. Today we are going to do an indirect self-portrait. We'll be using a number 2 pencil to create our image. Our I can statement is I can create an indirect self-portrait using symbols, drawings, letters, and words which reflect who I am. A self-portrait is a drawing, a sculpture, a painting, or a photograph done by the artist. An indirect self-portrait can also be a drawing or a sculpture, painting, or a photograph, but the artist isn't directly showing themselves. It can be a collection of objects that have some meaning to the artist. Some artists choose some parts of themselves, such as their hands or their feet, for an example. We're looking right now at several different examples of self-portraits where you can actually see the artist. This one is a stippling one. It's done with dots. The next one we're going to look at is done by Salvador Dali, and he's the first one I'm going to show you in indirect. Notice the mustache, and you'll see the mustache in the next one, how it's part of the painting, and you know it's him. The next example is a great example. This artist chose different items to represent himself. You can see a treasure chest full of his wealth. You can see music. Obviously, music is important to him. In the lower right-hand corner, you can actually see a portrait where he did sneak himself in there. But this is a great example of an indirect self-portrait. And that's what you're going to be creating. You're going to use objects and symbols and things like that to represent you, and words. As an artist, we're going to practice. We're going to draw 6 to 8 eyes, and we're going to add shading, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I want you to note the simple shapes, the circles inside of a circle. I noticed that the lines on top look like kind of a sad face and a smiling face. You're going to be adding shading, and shading is what we call values of a color, light to dark values, and you need to make sure you shade your eye inside and out, because otherwise it's going to look flat and you're just going to have a few colors. The entire project will have shading throughout it, even in your designs. Now that you've completed your warm-up of the 6 to 8 eyes, you can begin on a white piece of paper. I want you to take your time. I want you to add detail within the eye where the iris is going to have a little bit of more texture looking. Your pupil can be solid black, or you can put a highlight in it. Use your eraser if you've found that you have made things too dark. Lots of shading. Be very careful when you add eyelashes. You can overdo and make it look like a spider. Divide your section up into at least 6 to 8 areas. Notice that I've added a small area where I've got my value scale, and now I'm adding texture. Keep your work neat. Use a piece of paper under your hand so you don't smudge the graphite. Each section will be different. Don't do too many patterns. 1 or 2 is enough. Stylize your items. Look at this picture closely, and you'll see that there's a little section in the upper right-hand corner where it looks like little kitty cats. Those are stylized. Have fun and enjoy.